Cox. Say hi to Bill Squire. He's right over there.
Hey, creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening to and watching this episode of the Alan Cox Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share a cold one with the boys.
Mary Santora's arrival is imminent. Poundcake is back in Studio G.
Afternoon, white people. Hello.
And he's excited. He had a big weekend. I don't know.
I had a big weekend. I had a bunch
Did
of
you
stuff.
really?
Yeah, because I went to the hockey game that they had. It was OSU versus
the outdoor
Michigan.
hockey game. Who won?
Ohio State.
Okay.
And then I went, came back here and chilled for a little bit in between, because then later that night, went to the Shrek Rave at House of Blues.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
And
it was pretty fun.
I had a friend who went to they did the first one, I think, maybe a year and a half ago in L.A., and he's like, it's a nonstop evening of apology, which seems weird.
What?
Well, he said the whole thing is kind of laid out where they're like, we know it's totally dumb, but it's so fun. We know it's so lame, but what a great time. It's
there wasn't any of that.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was just, there was tons of people dressed up.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people, everybody was dancing and having a good time.
Where was this?
It was at House of Blues.
House of Blues,
Yeah,
okay.
so-
Did you dress up? Did you paint
No,
yourself green?
because we did this kind of last minute. So I went to the hockey game. I was already at the hockey game when we were making the plans. So I was just like, well, I'm just going to wear what I'm going to wear, which was a flannel shirt.
You were able to buy tickets at the door?
Pants was able to finagle some tickets for us.
Finagle?
Yeah, we were
Was
able
it
to-
sold out?
It did sell out.
Wow.
It was packed. And we got there at like 9:15, and we thought it was going to be like people trickling in. When doors opened, people were ready to dance. Like, they were in there. They were ready to go.
So for a lot of
the
those
place got
people,
packed.
it wasn't last minute plans. They
No.
had planned.
No, it was a hot ticket, and people were there, and they were having a very good time, and it was a good time. We kind of parked up in the seated area, and just kind of people watched from
The
there
mezzanine?
and danced and stuff. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good time. It was me and Pants and Tommy from my podcast.
And so, what does this consist of? What is the Shrek Rave?
So there's a bunch of different DJs that go up, and they kind of all have their weird Shrek videos that they just find on the internet, because so many people. Shrek has such a weird cult following. Like, obviously, it's a very popular kids movie, but then there's a lot of people that make Shrek animations.
Okay.
That you wouldn't, they're not as high quality as the ones in the movie. It's like Shrek dancing or Shrek, doing all sorts of weird stuff. So they play those edits behind them. And then every once in a while they would, run out with a Shrek mask or have something that had to do with the movie. But
This is a largely millennial audience, I assume.
I would say
like
largely Gen Z.
Gen Z.
I was old.
Kids that are into Shrek.
Kids that are into dancing that also know what Shrek is.
Oh.
I think
Gotcha.
the main selling point was it's a rave, but it's also a rave at House of Blues, which I don't know if you can really call that a rave.
Was going to be my next question.
So I would say, I kept calling it, we're going to the corporate Shrek rave.
Right.
And
Well, they wiped their ass with the term rave a long time ago, so I think they're probably fully within their rights to
we're
call
not
it that.
in an abandoned warehouse. No one's getting mesothelioma from asbestos.
Asbestos poisoning.
There's so much stuff that isn't really a rave about this, but it was still a good time. And
How long of a show is this?
we got there around 9 and we left a little bit before 11, and I think it probably went for another hour or two. Probably went till about midnight.
Wow.
Is my guess.
Okay.
Now,
How long did it go before you were ready to leave? That's the real question.
Oh, we were. I would have stayed longer, but
Really?
The reason we went is we recorded a podcast before it, and then recorded the after podcast, talking about what actually happened, like what our expectations were and what actually we saw. So that's why we left, because we still had to do 30 minutes of podcasting, and we're like, we don't be. I'm an old man, 41 years old. I want to be up all night. I want to get my Shrek podcast done and get to bed.
Wow.
But it was very fun. That podcast will be out in a couple weeks.
Okay. Well, Poundcake, did you do anything that interesting? You need to top Shrek Rave.
I did not attend a Shrek rave.
You can go see Jerry Seinfeld at Playhouse Square or anything like that?
No, I did attend the OSU versus Michigan game Saturday.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't know you were going. Was that a last minute?
It was a last minute thing. My friend had tickets because she used to work for the Browns.
You did not strike me as an outdoor hockey fan.
I do. I go to the Monsters games. I still kind of enjoy that because it's white guys fighting and they're all hot. So I'm down with that. But it was pitched to me as if I was going. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to a Monsters game." She said, "No, it's not a Monsters game. It's a bunch of like college students." I said, "Huh?" And I didn't understand because it was my first time at First Energy Field. Period. I'd never been to a Browns game either. So I was like, "We're having a OSU hockey game at First Energy Stadium," and yeah. So I just tried to wrap my head around that for a minute. And then
we talked about this a couple times on the show.
There were so many people there.
It was a lot.
Like there was downtown was all weekend because I was downtown a lot over the weekend, and I'll tell some other stories later. But
it just pissed me off.
Everybody was down there. I mean, I think 50,000 people went to that hockey game, and then there was Monster Jam, and there was the Shrek Rave. There was comedy. Like there was so many different things going on. So Cleveland was very alive this weekend.
Would you say it was hopping?
Yeah,
popping.
It was pumping.
That's what ruined it for me, though, because it was Columbus people, Michigan people, and Cleveland people. No one knew where they were going, and then we were trying to get to our parking spot, and I thought the cop was like joking with us when he told us we had to go up like to 55th and Marginal. I was like,
the East Side.
Oh yeah, because they closed down.
They closed down everything. I'm like,
East 9th. All those that exit. That's East 9th on the Shoreway. Gets shut down.
So we were sitting in traffic for like an hour and a half trying to go around, and no one knew where they were going. So then by the time we finally get to the station, into the stadium, I'm angry. So I'm like, I told my friend, I said, "You got to buy me a drink after this."
What time was the game?
Started at 4.
At 4.
Oh, 4. Yeah. Oh, so it's middle of the afternoon and you're pissed.
Yeah. So I was like, I need a drink right now.
You didn't have a game plan. Well, you said last minute. So like I got downtown at 3 and it was already starting to get crazy. And I could tell there was a lot of Michigan and Columbus people because just how people were driving around the city looking for they had no idea where they were going. No idea
where to go.
I saw a line of traffic that had to turn around at Edgewater to come back downtown because
that's what we did.
East 9th closed, yeah.
That's what we did originally.
Wow. So it was a cluster F all the way around.
Yeah.
But did you have fun at the game?
No, because then when I went into the game,
because you were pre-pissed.
I was pre-pissed. So I was like, I need a drink right now. This is the only way that's gonna make it fine.
And then you waited in line for 90 minutes.
There was
for
a line for there was no the express line had a line. So I was like, where's the express line for the express line? And by the time I got my stupid little chicken fingers and fries, I was like, I guess I'll have a Bud Light since this is the only line I waited for.
That's probably all that they had left, too.
Yeah, so I only had like one beer, some chicken fingers and fries. And by that time...
This guy's eating chicken fingers and fries at the... I'm saying I've never eaten at a game. I think that's funny. I know a lot of people do. I've never gotten food at a game.
So then my friend found... Yeah, I mean, so
I know I get it after all that, yeah.
The game was almost over, so we're like, we might as well just leave and beat the herd, I guess. And then fireworks started going off, so I'm like, oh, damn, we're getting stuck in traffic. And my friend met...
Well, everybody parks and looks up.
My friend met up with her friends, and they're all going to Jack at this time to go drink. I'm like, I guarantee you there's going to be a line there, but fine, we'll go.
But to the casino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then I realized how much I don't like that and how impatient I am because everyone was out of town and the bartenders were overworked and everyone was sweating. I'm like, you know what? Just give my damn drink.
See, if you would have...
everybody wants stuff to happen in Cleveland, and then stuff happens in Cleveland, and everybody pisses and moans it takes too long to do anything.
Well, I just want to be ahead of everybody else.
Choose your fighter, man. Make your choice.
Hey, if you do it with a good plan and people that know what they're doing, I didn't have to wait in any lines, really. Even at the Shrek Rave that was sold out, there was
but anytime you're downtown and there's multiple events going on, there's going to be traffic and lines and everything's more expensive and
Yep. You got to be ready for it.
Yeah,
it was a good weekend.
That's all anybody says they want, and then it happens. Everybody's complaining.
I went for a hike yesterday.
Oh.
I guess,
what kind of line was there for that?
There wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Ain't no line to go on a hike.
It was nice.
Yeah. Oh, did you take in some of the foliage, some of the flora and or fauna?
Was that a date hike?
It was an evening hike. I was at my friend's house, the one whose driveway I got stuck in.
Okay.
She lives out in the sticks, and she lives by the Metro Park. So I was like, she said, "Let's go on a hike." I said, "Okay." And then we got near where we were gonna go, and then we were like, "Forget this." We turned around because it started getting dark, and it was like this is how all the scary movies.
You got near where you were gonna go. What?
We got near where we were supposed to go. We were gonna go see this waterfall.
Oh, like your destination on the hike.
Yeah, and
I
then we were
see.
like, it's too dark over there. There might be like a killer out in the woods, so we turned around.
The waterfall killer you thought was hanging out around there waiting for stray hikers to come by. Isn't that completely antithetical to the notion of going for a hike to just commune with nature? You turned around because you were worried there was a killer out there.
Yeah, we commune with nature. That's fine. It wasn't nature we were worried about.
I love it. So so you turned around and went back
Yeah.
before it got dark.
Well, it was dark, but it was like dark because there was no lights
see.
by this little body of water. I'm like, I could slip and fall. There could be a guy out there that.
Yeah,
dragged me
I guess a
in.
waterfall at night would be less enthralling than in the daytime.
Correct.
I get that. But I mean, when the sun's going down when you leave.
I don't know if he does.
You know what time the sun's supposed to set this time of year.
Yeah, like 11 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there you go.
So why was it so dark so early? No wonder he was vexed. Well, good. Everybody did something. I've got to take a break. If you want to text 35192 to do that, AlanCoxShow.com is where you can watch, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your